What's the difference? Tomatoes in containers or in bags? Let's take a look. Hello Huntsteaders. So today is Monday, June 8th. What a beautiful day. Here I am out at the garden, and I thought I'd make a little video today about the difference between tomatoes in tomato bags, like these guys right here, and containers. I've always pretty much used containers for most of my tomatoes. This used to be called Tomato Row over here. Oh look, there's that little pollinator again. And I got a couple eggplants in them now, and I have some tomatoes over here. And I've pretty consistently grown tomatoes in pots. And they do pretty well. Like this Sun Gold tomato is left over from last year, and it's still producing like crazy. This guy's pretty new. I just put this in this year. The tomatoes in here are doing pretty well. But look at this guy. So this is an heirloom tomato. It's a black Krim, and it's got a pretty good sized plant in here, but hardly any fruit. It's got a couple. It's a good sized guy right there, just waiting for it to get some color on it. And there's a little one here, little one up there, little one over here, medium sized one here. So we're getting a few tomatoes on it, but not that many. Let's go over here. Look at this guy. So this thing is a Black Seaman Russian heirloom tomato. Look at the size of these tomatoes on here. Now they haven't gotten any color yet. This one looks like maybe it's starting to blush a little bit, but I've got no less than 20 tomatoes on this thing. I mean, no less, all over it. The plant's about, well, probably 5 foot high, 6 foot high, 5.5 feet high, and it's just loaded with fruit. And this guy over here, I put in at the same time. It's a Zoytcha yellow beefsteak tomato. Same thing, huge tomatoes all over it. And I got one actually starting to turn colors here. This baby's gonna be ready to pluck in a couple of days. So look at the size of that thing. So I've been evaluating, or at least considering, going to potato bags, or putting some of my potatoes and tomatoes in bags for the last couple of years. This guy over here I just put in recently. It's another big tomato. It's called a Big Zack. It's a big red tomato, and they're supposed to be huge. There's nothing on it yet. It's just growing. But I've been looking at these things. So I guess the difference is when you have something in a pot, like this tomatillo is here, or these guys over here, you know, it's contained. You can control the nutrients and everything that go in it. I like these guys because I have a water reservoir at the bottom, and I can they're easier to keep watered. These guys I got to load up every day. But also the difference here, you got a big bag, and they come in various sizes. And you have the effect called air pruning, because these bags are not a hard side, you know, they're fabric. The air can get in. So what happens is when the plant root gets close to the edge, where it comes in contact with the air, it stops growing and it pushes out more roots. And in theory, that creates a bigger plant. And it looks like it's holding up over here. I mean, look at even this cucumber plant right here. Look at that guy. That's a great looking cucumber right there. I might give that another day before I pull it off. And I've already taken 6 or 7 off of here already. And look at that. We got 3 or 4 down here. That big one ready to pick. So I don't know. And you know, it could also be the difference in the plants, because these guys are just naturally a big plant, and they've got a lot of heavy fruit on them. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna monitor these throughout the year and determine. But I like what I'm seeing so far. And then I also have this guy over here, this yellow pear tomato, and it's massive. Of course, it's got a half wine barrel all by itself. And I'm getting these things starting to turn finally. There's got to be 200 tomatoes on this thing. I'm starting to get little yellow ones everywhere. Got back there. And some of them are teeny, and some of them are huge. There's one over here I saw. Look at the size of this guy. Thing's, you know, really good size for a cherry tomato. So I got a lot going on with my tomatoes this year. And then I have some patio tomatoes here. This guy's loaded up with fruit already. Little patio tomato. And I got this thing over here. I've already done a video on this. Also loaded with fruit. I mean, it has so many tomatoes on it. I've harvested several from it. It's called a sweet tangerine. The kind of a deep yellow or orange colored fruit. Look at that guy down there. It's huge. And so I'm just waiting. I say I probably picked 4 or 5, maybe 7 tomatoes off of this thing. All good size, sweet tasting. So we're going to have a great tomato year this year. But I'm really excited about evaluating the difference between the standard potted tomato plants that I'm used to and these ones that are in bags that are off to a great start. Thanks for watching.